Today we're going to be quickly making some chicken bites with you. I know that it doesn't sound like you're going to have a lot of variety here because it's all the same protein and it's all chicken bites, but we've got a lot of
options. It is really interesting, and I love having these on hand. They are so convenient. They're fast to cook up. There is a lot of variety. You can throw them on salads. You can put them in wraps. I have actually chopped them up a little bit further and made some into chicken salad for sandwiches.
Absolutely.
And when I don't have any on hand, I'm sad about it. So I'm glad we're doing this today.
They're great for lunches, and the bag is really thin, so it thaws really quickly. So on the days that you forget to take out a freezer meal, this is the perfect thing to grab out at the end of the day. It'll thaw in time. You can just throw it into your skillet, and honestly, it cooks up in like 10 minutes or less. So you can have dinner on the table even if you forgot to take out a meal that morning. It's actually really easy to make a whole bunch of these all at once, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your chicken breasts on sale, and then you're gonna come home and cube them up. And as you're cubing them, you're gonna put them right into the freezer bags. And then you're gonna add the things that we're showing you here today. You're gonna seal those up, get them into your freezer, and then you don't have to think about it again, and you just have those chicken bites there waiting for you. The first one that we're gonna share with you is Blackened Cajun chicken bites. This is one that tastes so good, not just on a Caesar salad, which is pretty amazing, but on like an Alfredo pasta. Oh my goodness.
When I first made this, my daughter walked in and she's like, "What is that? Can I put it on poutine?"
Why not?
Why not? And so if you aren't familiar, poutine is a Canadian dish. It originated in Quebec. And so it is fries with cheese curds and gravy, usually beef gravy, because there's a lot of different kinds of poutine now where like you could have like shredded pork or chili on it.
We have entire poutine restaurants here where there's like a million different varieties of poutine. There's this cute little restaurant in Lacombe, Alberta, that has a dill pickle poutine that's like got a, like it, I think it has the gravy, but it also has like a white creamy dill sauce, and then it's got like pickle. There are some weird poutines out there.
So it really wasn't all that weird that she walked in and she's like, "I want to put that on poutine." And I'm like, go ahead and put it on poutine.
You've already got your chicken cubed up. It's just raw and cubed right there in your bag. And then you're gonna add some olive oil, salt, pepper, dry onion or onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, basil, thyme, and a bit of cayenne. You can add more cayenne if you like things spicy, or less if you don't. Then you're just gonna squish all of that together in the bag. With the help of the olive oil, those seasonings should stick to the chicken. You're gonna get as much air as you can out of the bag so that you don't end up with freezer burn. You're gonna seal it and get that in your freezer. When you go to make this, again, you just thaw it and you're gonna cook it up really quickly in a skillet. You can serve this on Caesar salad, on fettuccine alfredo, on poutine, or in a Caesar chicken lettuce wrap.
This next recipe is the lemon pepper chicken bites. We love lemon pepper around here, this one especially, and so it was a no-brainer that we would do this, and we didn't even think of it. One of our viewers was like, "You could do that with lemon pepper," and we're like, "Of course we can do that with lemon pepper, so let's do it." We have our chicken here in the bag. We're going to add some lemon juice, minced garlic, lemon pepper, of course, a bit of oregano, some cayenne, same thing as the blackened chicken bites. If you want it to kick it up a notch, you can add a little more cayenne or just a regular amount, and a bit of olive oil. You're going to mix it around in your bag, remove that excess air, seal it up and freeze it. And like the other chicken bites, super fast to prepare. We're going to allow it to thaw, cook it up in a skillet, add it to whatever you want. I don't know if this one would work on poutine all that well, but you can put it on rice. You can put it in a wrap, you can put it on a salad, and this is also a great one to smash up and make into a chicken salad for sandwiches, or, you know, sometimes it's just nice on a Ritz cracker.
Or on lettuce. Like
on
in
lettuce
leaves. It's so
absolutely.
Good. And
oh,
fresh,
it's good.
Right? With the lemon pepper. I have a story to tell you about lemon pepper, but I'm going to tell it at the end of the video, because if you're used to our chatting, you're not here for the first time, then you know we can get kind of long-winded. It is a bit of a long story, so I'm gonna save it for the end of the video. Christy doesn't know it yet. I actually sent her an email the other day that was like,
remind me about the lemon pepper. Yes. Now I'm remembering. How helpful was I?
And so I'm going to tell you at the end of the video, but yes, this one is really nice and fresh and it works really well. And also because it also uses the olive oil and the cayenne and things like that, like when you get the ingredients out and you just make multiples of these, it just is so, so fast. If I had to pick a favorite, this would probably be it. And this is the Greek chicken bites. Now I can't decide because I just had another thought, but whatever. This is at least tied for first for me. So for your Greek chicken bites, you're gonna have your cubed chicken in your bag. You're gonna add in some dill, oregano, coriander, cumin, cinnamon, salt, pepper, olive oil, and lemon juice. So you're gonna squish that or shake it in the bag to combine it, get your air out, seal it, freeze it. When you go to make this, again, you're just gonna cook it up in a skillet just until your chicken's not pink anymore. It's super, super fast. Now this, you can serve it over Greek salad. You can serve it in gyros, I think you pronounce it.
So I did a little bit of deep diving on this one because it is in our PDF for January.
Right.
And we'll tell you about the PDF in a minute. And it is pronounced gyro.
Gyro,
if you're in Greece. But in North America, we do tend to say gyro or gyro.
Okay.
So
gyro.
Don't roast us. I really did look into it. And so they say gyro. And they want you to roll the R's. You're French, so you can roll the R's. I can't roll an R.
Okay.
Now you know. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to tell you how I eat this, which I love.
I love the way you eat this too.
So I take a pita, cut it in half, and then you stuff it with lettuce, tzatziki. I have a really easy homemade tzatziki recipe that I do, and ooh, yum. Or you can do purchased, no judgment here. Tomatoes, purple onions, crumbled feta cheese, sometimes some fresh mint. Can you tell that I just love this meal? And it's so fresh and it's tangy and so good. Anyway, that's my favorite way to eat this. And I have a daughter that is in love with this as well.
So good. So good.
Yeah. Not gonna chew this one.
So we've eaten this same recipe with no meat in it for years and years. Once we started making the Greek chicken bites, I was like, this is the protein solution.
Right, right.
To my souvlaki pitas.
Your daughter walks in and is like, let's make this into a salad. My daughter walked in and was like, let's make it into poutine.
Right? And that's they're really good friends, and so it's hilarious because food-wise, they really couldn't be much more different. So we were talking a minute ago about this PDF, and what that is for our January cooking class. For our Freezer Meals 101 Club members, we do a monthly live cooking class where everybody can come cook right with us. They get a PDF first that includes all the recipes, the shopping list, the prep list, the printable labels, so that they can actually go shopping, do their prep, and show up with everything ready to cook with us. At the end of the class, you can walk away with either 5 meals if you make 1 of each, or 10 meals if you make 2 of each. And the shopping list includes both options. It's really, really nice to be able to have 10 meals in your freezer, but I also think it's really nice to be able to chat with us and feel like you're not cooking alone. So that's kind of the best part.
And honestly, that's my favorite part. We've been doing these for quite a while now in the club for our club members, but now anybody can join us. You can buy the PDF and it has the link right in there, and you can join us for these live cooking classes, and they are actually a hoot. Charlotte and they are a hoot. Charlotte and I enjoy, honestly, we like freezer meals. Obviously, we wouldn't do this, but we love our viewers. We love our viewers and we love our club members. And over time, we have gotten to know some of you fairly well. I think I could probably go to Virginia and stay with Juliana.
Probably.
Probably.
Or go to the Maritimes and stay with Shan.
I totally would. So, you know, we have made friends with these people over time, and it is really fun. It's quite inclusive, and you can ask us questions if you have that burning question about something freezer meal related and sometimes not freezer meal related, and just come and do life with us for a little bit.
So we will put the link for the January cooking class in the description down below, but we are including the Greek chicken bites in that class. We also have Tuscan ravioli or Tuscan sun-dried tomato ravioli sauce.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good.
You want to join just for that, honestly.
The Cajun sheet pan, Cajun vegetable sheet pan meal.
Cashew chicken.
Oh, the cashew chicken
Cashew
sheet
chicken.
pan.
Oh my goodness. And then one more. I want to say there's a soup, but that isn't right.
No,
I just was looking at it yesterday.
Anyway, you want to join because the meals are so darn good, but more for the camaraderie and feeling like you're right in the kitchen with us.
And you get to fill your freezer at the same time. Like, if you have been thinking about doing freezer meals, this is a great way to like dip your toe into it, and then opening up your freezer door and looking and seeing those 5 meals there or those 10 meals there, and you're like, I don't have to cook again for 2 weeks.
It's amazing.
Oh, it just feels so good. Trust us, it feels so good.
We actually have empty freezers. We are coming to you from empty Freezerville. I have one more Spanish rice in my freezer, and it's being served tonight. I still need to take that out and thaw it, but that is it. That is all. I think I might have a taco meat. But the reason we have empty freezers is because this is mega session week. So before you know it, you're going to have a mega session to watch, and that is, if you're not familiar, where we make 3 months worth of freezer meals. We stack our freezer, and we are going shopping for that tomorrow. We're going to prep for that tomorrow, and then the very next day we are assembling. And so we are really excited because we're going to be doing, we always do tried and true recipes in these, but we're also going to be doing some really exciting new things. We're experimenting a lot, which is fun.
And it's better for us to do it than for you to do it, honestly. We've had some duds over the years, but for the most part, they are wonderful. Charlotte's Brain, I don't know if you've met it. It is really great at those flavor profiles, the flavor combinations. She's got one of those palettes, like when you see on cooking shows, they're like blindfold taste test kind of things. She can do that stuff. So I'm glad to have her, and she's glad to have me because I'm just a pretty darn good cook.
Christy's a great cook, and as a matter of fact, this morning when she got here, I was like, okay, so we're gonna talk about some of these meals. I've been emailing her the recipes because she's making labels for them so that we can, have the printable labels in the cooking class. We can't just go in the club and print them off because these are brand new recipes. So I've been emailing them to her, and she's like, there's one that you didn't send me cooking instructions on. And I was like, yeah, that's because I needed to talk to you about it because I have a few thoughts and I'm really not. And she's like, this is what I decided. And her idea was, of course, absolutely perfect and kind of what I was leaning towards, but I wasn't sure because all my cooking questions go to Christy.
And just so you know, it is going to be a Mediterranean style poached fish. Thank you. You're going to love it. I am excited about this recipe, so please tune in to the mega session. We would love to see you there. This next recipe is garlic butter chicken bites. And I laughed the first time I saw the title to this recipe because I think of butter chicken, and then this was garlic butter chicken, and I'm like, are you making like a sauce that's like butter chicken, but it's garlic instead of curry? I don't understand. And then I read the recipe, and it's like, oh, it's just garlic and butter flavored chicken, and it's lovely. It is so good. Into your bag, you have your boneless, skinless chicken breasts that have been cut up. We're going to add in some olive oil, a 1/4 cup of butter. It does not have to be melted, just get the butter in there. We're going to add in Italian seasoning, red pepper flakes, some lemon juice, and salt and pepper. Now we're going to mix that around and seal it up and freeze it. When we go to cook this, we'll allow it to thaw, and then we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. We're going to fry up the chicken and let it get nice and brown, and all of that fond that is in the bottom, you're going to take your chicken out and all that. It's called fond, that stuff, the brown stuff that's sticking to the bottom of your pan. You're gonna deglaze it with white wine, and you're gonna mix that around, and it's all gonna lift and mix in. You're going to add in quite a bit of garlic and some hot sauce. Then you're gonna add your chicken back in, coat it all. Now, this one is just lovely the way it is. How we served it at our house was with mashed potatoes and gravy because it just was so homey. All of that garlic in there really doesn't end up being a lot of garlic once it's all done. The wine and the hot sauce and the butter. It is just a beautiful dish and we just really, really loved it.
It's nice and homey. I think it would be really good with like sauteed mushrooms, and you could saute those with a little bit of the wine too, and just, oh,
yes.
Yum.
Yeah, like this is a jumping point for a lot of things. It really, really is. And it because it's a bit saucy, it isn't like, you know, like the Greek chicken or the lemon pepper where it's a dry rub, right? They aren't super saucy. This has that sauce in it. You could put this with rice, you could put this with pasta. We are potato eaters at our house, so it was an easy yes to put this with the mashed potatoes and gravy, and it wasn't too saucy that it competed with the gravy. Do you know what I mean? It's just so dang good.
And so simple. And you might have noticed, but quite a few of these have like cross ingredients, which I've already talked about, but it's like a lot of them have lemon juice. So your lemon juice just sits on the counter the whole time you're assembling these, and you just
bang, bang, bang.
Oh,
Done.
It's so fast. I love this.
The next recipe is ranch chicken bites, which of course we have ranch chicken bites. Of all of the chicken bites, that to me is the no-brainer. Super simple, super tasty. Here's the recipe. We have our chicken in the bag. We're going to add in olive oil, dry ranch seasoning, and that's it. We're gonna shake it up to combine. We are going to get it into our freezer. When you go to cook this, same as the others, we're going to allow it to thaw. We're going to put it in the skillet, medium-high heat, let it get a little bit brown, and then the sky is the limit of what you can do with ranch chicken. You can serve it on salad. You can serve it in wraps. I was thinking about this earlier when I was just thinking about ranch chicken wraps. When you go to the grocery store and you buy, like, you know what Lunchables are, where it's like the meat and the cracker and the cheese and it has a little Kit Kat in there. They're for kids. They're not always the healthiest. So then they have like the grown-up Lunchables that has like cut up chicken breast, and it has some dried cranberries and a little pocket that has nuts. Those are so good, and they're just a nice little pick-me-up for the afternoon, but they're hecka expensive. So if you are making your own, I was thinking, like, 'cause my daughter likes to take those, why don't we make her little ranch chicken bite little things that she can take to school? Because she's in high school. She is not a great eater, you know, like, they just eat kind of garbage. They just go to McDonald's,
chips
right?
And pop.
They chips and pop. And so I just thought that was a really great idea. And this is something that you could dip in mustard or dip in ranch dressing or dip in barbecue sauce and have it as, instead of like chicken fingers, which have a coating, and you'd maybe want to cut them a bit bigger. It doesn't matter. You're feeding little kids. Remember when you used to feed your kids in the muffin tin?
Muffin tin trays.
She used to feed her kids in muffin tin trays so that they could try new things, and it was so exciting.
They loved it.
They
still talk about it.
I love that so much. So it would be great for that. It's just, I'm excited about chicken ranch bites. Who knew?
3 ingredients. It just does not get easier than this. And if you were able to get your chicken on sale, like, man, this is inexpensive. So I'm gonna tell you about chicken shawarma, which was kind of our original, like our OG chicken bites recipe, but we didn't think of it as chicken bites back then. It's funny, what happened is we made these steak bites. And they were really popular. They worked well in the air fryer, or you could just fry them up in a skillet or whatever. It was a great way, like if you live in Canada like we do, you could have steak in the winter because you don't have to go and barbecue it. It's a really nice thing. But after the steak bites, my brain started going. And I was like, chicken bites. We could do chicken bites. We could do all these different kinds of chicken bites. And then recently I've started to be like salmon bites. So coming to a video near you. Anyway, you just never know what's going to happen up in here.
Let's do pork bites before we do salmon bites.
Oh, the ones I have planned are so good.
Okay.
But don't worry, they're
Never
not.
mind. We
They're
can do
not
salmon
in
bites.
this mega session. They're going to be in a future one because we're going to be looking for sales on salmon. Anyway, that's how chicken bites came about. And then I realized after we had invented some of these other chicken bites, like, we've had chicken bites for years actually, because we've had these chicken shawarma bites that we just didn't call bites. So to make this, it is super simple. You've got your cubed raw chicken in your bag, then you're gonna add some olive oil and some shawarma seasoning. You can use a homemade shawarma seasoning, and we have absolutely made our own sometimes. Or if you are pinched for time, you can pick up a shawarma seasoning that's pre-made and just toss that in there. And then this becomes 3 ingredient if you do that as well. You're gonna shake this in the bag. You can add a little bit more olive oil if it doesn't seem like it's coating well enough. And then you can get this sealed up and in your freezer. Now this one cooks up the same way. You're just gonna fry it in a skillet until that chicken is no longer pink inside. And this one serves on pita, like so on your flat pitas. You're gonna put some hummus. Then you can, if you want to make it a little more authentic, you can just do a little splash of olive oil on top of that. Then you're gonna add your shawarma chicken bites. Then you wanna add some tzatziki or some, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law taught me to add dill pickles into this because they had it in Israel and that's what they had in theirs. You can do some pickled cabbage, just all kinds of things.
The red onion.
Yes, you can do tomato if you want. And one thing that you should absolutely do is some tabbouleh salad right in there. Anyway, this one is also making me hungry.
We should not do these before lunch.
No. And then you wrap that up and you eat it, and it's just like all the flavors and all, oh, it's just so darn good. So I was telling you earlier that I have a lemon pepper story for you.
Yes, tell me the lemon pepper
story for Christy. So I have an allergy to celery, which also means I'm allergic to celery seed and
celery salt.
And so we're careful, we avoid it, and we often will make our own seasoning blends, or we'll change up recipes so that I'm able to avoid it. We're very, very careful. And this past year, like I would say over the last probably 6 months, I've started getting headaches again, which I haven't really struggled with since I was 18 years old. And sometimes those headaches have made me pretty nauseous, and I have almost thrown up, which does not sound like that tragic, except that I have this unfortunate health condition called cyclic vomiting syndrome. So if I throw up once, I can't stop without medical intervention, and I have to go to the hospital. So for me, this has actually been kind of life-altering this year that it's happened to me. And I have injections, like gravel injections that we can do from home to try to like stop that whole process and stop me from having to go to the hospital. It doesn't always work. So it's always scary when this happens. And it has been happening like more and more this year. The headaches, and actually I've had to have probably 4 or 5 times have had the gravel injections and almost had to go to the hospital. So I've been like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's stress. I don't know if it's hormones.
I know where this is going.
Right? And so I could not figure it out. And sometimes and I've been pretty careful to like track what it could be, and I'm like, I'm not eating anything differently, I'm not doing anything differently, and I could not pinpoint what was happening. Anyway, so every Christmas I make this veggie pizza. It's a cold appetizer where you put like Pillsbury crescent rolls, you flatten them out, bake them, and then you do this mixture of cream cheese, dry, like Uncle Dan's dry Italian dressing mix, and mayo and sour cream, and you spread that over the whole thing, and then you put lemon pepper over everything. Like you just cover this thing in lemon pepper, and then you top it with a whole bunch of really finely diced vegetables. So radishes and zucchini and yellow pepper and purple onion and jalapeno. Like, it's a lot of work, actually, to be honest, because there's a lot of vegetables that I
That's
put
why you make it once a year at Christmas.
I make it once a year, and I have been making this since I was a teenager. It's one of the 3 things I knew how to make.
It's
when
an
I got
old
married.
Pampered Chef recipe.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
And
like from way back, because I think they were selling their mandolin
Oh, and they wanted
and you
people-
wanted to slice your vegetables super, super thin is what it was for.
Yes, and you actually put shredded carrots on top. So yes, that makes sense. And I got the recipe from my aunt, who probably got it from Pamper Chef. So, been making it forever, been making it the same way forever. And this year, and I always look forward to it, and I have it Christmas Eve. And then in the morning, Christmas morning, before we open gifts, when we haven't had our full like freezer meal breakfast that is amazing and awesome,
You stuck
I always
some.
have, it's just tradition that I eat veggie pizza before we do stockings. Like I grab some out of the fridge from the night before. Anyway, Christmas Eve, at a certain point, I was like I'm like a few bites into this, and I'm like, I swear I taste celery. Like I swear I can taste celery. But I was like, so then I went and I fished out the Uncle Dan's Italian dressing packet.
Right.
Because I'm like, maybe they changed their formula after all these years. And it looked the same. I'm like, okay, I don't like, and then I'm like not feeling well, and I'm like, okay, so I'm not gonna eat any more of these. And then the next morning, I go grab, it's tradition. We're doing stockings. I have to eat. And I'm like,
pizza.
I take my first bite that morning, and I'm like, 100% there is celery in this. I don't know how, because I made it myself. I don't understand. I pick up the lemon pepper seasoning, which is a huge
We get the Costco one.
thing, and they had changed brands.
They have changed brands.
And so I pick it up, and the first ingredient, like not even pepper is not the first ingredient. Like the first ingredient is celery salt or celery seed or celery whatever. I have been making myself
You've been
sick
poisoning yourself regularly.
for months.
Oh no.
And we have lemon pepper in so many of our recipes, and some of them it's just like a little bit, not overpowering, so I wouldn't even have been able to taste the celery.
Yeah, like a teaspoon in the entire recipe.
Completely.
Oh my goodness.
And I have had like a few nights I have been out and had to come home. Like I've been sick so many times this year, and it's the lemon pepper.
I'm so glad you discovered what it was.
I know, because I was actually getting pretty concerned because this was altering my life a fair bit. So I chucked it immediately, and we'll have to find a new.
I wonder if I still have some of the old one
Maybe
at my house, and I'll bring it
because that
if
one
I
was
have it.
safe.
But now, okay,
So we have
I'm
to
on for
find-
spices this week.
Yes.
I have to go find a lemon pepper that is no
Safe.
celery.
Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy? So
I'm so glad that you found out and that we can watch for it now. Oh my goodness.
accidentally poisoning myself.
I'm glad your freezer is bare too.
Yes, so I have nothing in there that might contain celery seed or like accidentally through the lemon pepper, which is nice to know. But yes, that's my lemon pepper story.
Oh my, a whole year of it. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it was probably like I think it's probably been 8 months because
about that
that's
time
probably
when we got the new
replaced
one.
the
Oh my
container.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
So there you go. That's why I've been sick this year. And
Well, hooray for 2025. You're going to feel so much better.
no more headaches, no more
Oh my goodness.
hospital scares and whatever. Yeah. So there you go. So that's why I told the story at the end of the video, because it has really nothing to do with chicken bites. And
But a little bit to do with chicken bites.
a little bit, because the lemon pepper that we're going to use next time is going to be safe for me, and I'm going to be able to eat things safely again, and all the things. But also, over the years, we've had some comments by people that are like, I'm also allergic to celery. I've never met anybody that's allergic to celery. And so let this be a PSA. If
out
you're
there.
allergic to celery, check your lemon pepper.
Wow. It makes total
It's just
sense.
the weirdest
It makes
thing.
total sense.
Anyway,
The first time I fed you the dill pickle soup, because it has Old Bay seasoning, first ingredient on that sucker is celery salt. And she took one bite, and then she's like, it's got celery in it. And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
right?
And she's like, it does somewhere. My headache is already starting. And we were here for a games night, but I brought the soup for you to try because I had been raving about it for so
Yep.
long.
And
you
went
were
up
like,
to bed.
I'm gonna go up to bed. And so we probably visited with your husband for a bit, and then we went home. So yes, we have to be super careful with that.
There you go.
Oh my
So-
goodness! Wow.
Okay, so chicken bites, awesome. Allergies, not so much.
Okay,
But-
that is another really great thing about freezer meals, though. You can adjust it because you're not stuck with whatever is coming out of that frozen dinner at the grocery store.
Nope.
You are completely in charge. Somebody in our group this week asked, "What do you do? Do you have any low sodium recipes?" Our recipes aren't specifically low sodium, but there are so many things you can do to make it low sodium. If we call for canned diced tomatoes, you want to use the no salt version. Like we use chicken broth, you want to use the no sodium chicken broth. Low sodium soy sauce, maybe reduce the soy sauce. Don't put the salt in, just put it on the table. Like there are ways to do this that
Absolutely.
accommodate your family, accommodate your allergies, accommodate your eating diets, your habits, however you are eating, and it's all done in your own kitchen, so you know that it's safe, unless they change the recipe for lemon pepper and sneak it in on you.
Yeah.
But really you are in control of that, and that is one of the biggest pluses to me of doing it this way.
Absolutely. So hopefully these chicken bites have given you some ideas of things that you can make for great at-home lunches or dinners, because they're just so fast to make and they're fast to cook up. And tune in next week or the week after when we have that mega session video for you. It is going to be full of a lot more variety than just chicken, although there is some chicken. and some
there's more than just
exciting
fish,
new
too.
recipes. Oh, it's going to be... Okay, my husband always says, don't oversell.
We are overzealous today. Like I went on for 10 minutes about ranch bites. So,
Right.
you can't say we're not passionate.
We are definitely passionate. And we are also passionate about our community. So thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you. Happy cooking.
Bye.